So, I guess this is my daily commute. Still getting used to this camera that I got in like 2020 and then never turned on. Go me. Probably a lot of this video is going to be really stupid angles and crappy edit maneuvers on account of my incompetence. I look disheveled and underdressed because I am sitting at home because I've just moved to this foreign country and I don't have a job and I need a job. And fuck. I recently moved to the UK after 6 years coming back and forth, and like I think there's some things that people just don't tell you, or they do tell you but you refuse to listen. In my case I think I just refuse to listen, but like, so passing on the favor with advice to listen about moving countries, especially moving countries to join a partner. Guess what people didn't tell me, or I didn't figure out, was that when you spend 6 years making the process of making a choice, like a dream goal, it's like this fuzzy thought you fall asleep to at night when you're in shitty situations elsewise. When you finally get here, it's obviously not that fuzzy. Like, and I knew this, like cognitively, logically, I knew this. I knew that immigrating to a foreign country, all of my qualifications would be less valuable than lesser qualifications that were acquired locally. And I knew that it would be hard to make friends, and I knew that it would be hard to integrate, and I knew that there would be learning curves and all of this crap. I convinced myself that they just wouldn't be as hard as like living in America, where there was nobody with whom I shared a commonality, moral-wise, or, you know, whatever, culturally, where I felt like particularly isolated for another reason. So I'm sitting here, and in half an hour I'm gonna go put on some nice clothing. I'm gonna go to a networking event. I'm gonna put my ass out there. Well, figuratively speaking. And try and find people who will want to work with me, or whom I want to work with, and start building my network from scratch, which is exactly what you do when you move somewhere new. Is you have to build your network from scratch, because you're not going to get a job by just like quick applying on LinkedIn. I need a job, not just for money. I need a job because I like to work. I'm a fucking workaholic. So, on my way to a networking event tonight in Central, for like film industry. See how it goes. Might not go at all. Might go. Gotta convince people that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. That'll be impressive if they believe it. Very nice. And that's my train. I hate walking in London because I will inevitably always get lost. Like, it takes me 6 times to find one street because they're like all so close to each other and not in an orderly, preconceived pattern. I'm looking for a John Street. No idea where it is. At least it's pretty. It's really pretty out. The rain really does something for London. Networking event yesterday. I went to an event held by Talent Manager, who is like a recruiting platform for film industry stuff, and it was nice. There's lots of good people. I mean, most people were unemployed. One, because the industry right now is collapsing, but two, because you wouldn't go to a networking event if you were employed, I guess. But that's okay. It's not about finding your next employer at one of these events. It's about getting your face in front of the right people at the right time, with the right attitude and the right skill set, multiple times. Name recognition rather than anything else. So that when, I don't know, in a year they are hiring and they do happen to come across you, at least they know you. I get to remind myself that this isn't all in vain, and just because people aren't hiring doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. Actually, it was really fun. And on the bright side, My walk involves walking by the River Thames, which I know for most Londoners like whatever, but I guess it's kind of nice. Pretty much everywhere you look is a little bit of history, be it like World War II history or Tudor history or medieval history, anything between, underneath, Roman. Even while I am unemployed, at least I can enjoy a free museum everywhere I go, which I like. Grand plan for today is 1, to fill out some industry applications, 2, to fill out some non-industry applications on LinkedIn, and 3, to edit the stuff I shot yesterday and start getting to grips with editing software, because that is an industry skill I want to develop. One of the big things that I want to learn how to do is learn how to use Adobe, because I never got the opportunity, always a financial barrier, but now I'm in a position where 1, I need to know it, 2, I can kind of afford it, so that's what we're doing. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice to have these videos because my brain rots without challenge, and this is a nice, attainable, measurable, self-imposed challenge, and gets me out and walking, which is also nice because I get to film stuff like this, because it feels really weird to film talking to a camera in general, but especially in London, and especially in like a cafe or on a bus. Good morning. Today is Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Yesterday nothing got filmed because I had a migraine, which is happening a lot, and that's not new for me because when I was living in the States, every time the seasons changed in Columbia, Missouri, it was horrible, and right now we're in like season change here. But today I'm fine, and I find that usually after a migraine day where my brain is just completely offline, I have a very much an online brain day, and I found a job, or rather Simon found a job that he sent to me for support workers that speak Russian and Ukrainian in Hackney. So it's a really long application because it's for the local government, and I'm working on that and getting that together. And I've got 2 industry gigs that came up through my channels that I'm going to apply to today. And then at around 3, I'm going to head out to central London to meet up with some friends that I met at the Jewish networking event that I went to a little while back before I started doing these vloggy things. And we're gonna go to starting with an S gallery near Sloane Square. I'm sure people know what that is. I am an uneducated individual, but we're going there. I'm looking forward to it because after not having access to museums for 2.5 years, basically, I am very much craving galleries and museums. Right, so I'm heading out to Sloane Square for a night of frolicking. Feeling a little bit under the weather, but I think that's just like you move to a new country, every virus that is wandering around finds you. So I'm ignoring it and taking vitamins. You can tell I'm getting cocky because I'm holding this in public and I'm not worried about somebody grabbing it from me. I mean, I am, but less than I was. I can make it. So I got here way early because I keep thinking TTC time and I keep getting TFL time. There we go. And TFL time surprisingly is much better than TTC. So I am in Sloane Square, but it's surrounded by like really posh shops, like you gotta be rich to breathe in them. So my goal now is to try and find a cafe that will let me in when I look like this. So I really wanted to record a nice voiceover about all these pretty lights and the fact that it gets dark early in London, la la la. Unfortunately, I did not shoot enough footage to edit to actually properly do that. So here are some pretty lights, enjoy. And we ended up at this art gallery that I was talking about earlier. It mostly had like textile stuff. This is some like really neat textile work. Unfortunately, I was too busy chatting with my friend to actually note down the name of the artist. So dear artist who put this together, you're really talented and I'm very sorry. I do not mean to disrespect your work. I think it's beautiful. Also, here's a fuzzy, shiny radiator. And some jugs. I don't know what they represent, but I like them. Well, it's the end of the week, and it's been an interesting one. What I've learned this week has been a lot to do with putting myself in rooms. The first thing I learned is that just go. The second thing I learned is meetup is useful. Third thing I learned is Facebook groups are invaluable. The fourth thing I learned was shut up, because I have a tendency to yammer on when I'm nervous and it never ends well. I've learned that there is no such thing at this stage as I don't belong in this room. I think next week I do need to take care of myself a bit more in terms of the mental health, because I thought that if I prepared myself for rejection, I wouldn't be bothered by it, in the sense that I thought that if somebody says no, I wouldn't feel it's a big deal. And I don't. However, I do start to feel like I'm screaming into the void with my qualifications, and that nobody's even reading my applications, and the emptiness of information from the other side, that is what is getting to me. And I find myself exhausted from doing the same repetitive thing over and over again, checking all the job sites, finding good opportunities, revamping my CV every day. But that's what needs to happen. That is job hunting, right? It's a full-time job. That's fine. In order to not be drained by it, I need to actually go out and see this amazing city, because I haven't really been many places, because I've been so hunkered down trying to jump on every opportunity, and the only places I've gone have been for the purpose of meeting people or meeting industry people, and it hasn't been a whole lot of just putting on a backpack and jumping on a train, going to central London and meandering around getting lost 16 times. So I'm hoping that next week I can do a bit of that and get to see London. Until then, ciao.